Ethan yanked Oliver back just as the car sliced through the puddle. Dirty rainwater exploded over the curb, drenching the sidewalk where his 8-year-old had been a second before. Oliver stumbled, then burst into breathless laughter, red hoodie already speckled with drops. "Again," he said. Ethan's heart punched his ribs. "Yeah, no. You okay?" Oliver grinned up at him, eyes bright, dark hair plastered to his forehead. "I'm fine, Dad. That was awesome." "Glad one of us enjoyed it," Ethan muttered, forcing his breathing to slow. The sky over Ridgeview was bruised and low, clouds swallowing the last of the daylight. Across the street, the red and gold neon of Willow Street Diner glowed through the drizzle, reflected in the wet pavement. He checked his watch. "Come on. Before the sky changes its mind." The diner was a pocket of warmth, fogged windows, fried onions, burnt coffee, the dull music of cutlery and conversation. Oliver shoved the door open with both hands. The bell jingled overhead. Ethan shook water from his hair. A second later, Oliver tugged his sleeve. "Dad, look." The tone wasn't playful. Ethan followed his gaze. In the corner booth, a woman sat curled into herself, elbows tucked close like she was trying not to take up space. Her hands moved over a small pile of coins, counting, recounting. Across from her, a little girl watched a waiter carry a plate past their table. Her fingers gripped the edge of the seat, eyes locked on the food with a hunger that wasn't just about being hungry. Ethan didn't know their names yet, Maya and Zoe, but something in his chest tightened anyway. "Are they gonna eat?" Oliver whispered. "I don't know, bud," Ethan said. His voice came out thinner than he meant. The waitress dropped menus at their table. Oliver ordered pancakes and hot chocolate with the casual entitlement of a child who'd never had to do coin math. Ethan ordered something and immediately forgot what it was. His eyes kept drifting back. Maya counted the coins again. Her jaw tightened. She pushed half the money away, like distance might stop it from evaporating. The girl leaned in and said something. Maya forced a smile. "Not tonight, honey, maybe tomorrow," she murmured. The smile never reached her eyes. Oliver shifted closer. "Dad, we could help. Right? We have money." "It's not that simple," Ethan said. His throat felt tight. "People don't always want." "It should be," Oliver said, like he was describing gravity. When their food came, the universe cheated in his favor, 3 plates instead of 2. The waitress frowned at the ticket. "Kitchen doubled your order. I'll grab this one." "It's fine," Ethan said, too fast. "We'll make it work." Oliver's head snapped around. "Dad, this is it. This is literally." "Don't say literally," Ethan muttered, but his pulse sped up. He looked at the extra plate. At Maya's hunched shoulders. At the girl's bare wrists in stretched-out cuffs. If he went over there, maybe she'd refuse. Maybe she'd feel humiliated. Maybe she'd assume he was showing off. The girl coughed into her elbow, a small dry sound. Maya pulled her closer without looking up. Ethan picked up the plate before he could talk himself out of it. Every step toward their booth felt heavier than it should. Maya's head jerked up. Dark eyes flicked from his face to the plate to the floor. Her shoulders locked, like she was bracing for the catch. "Sorry to bother you," Ethan said, keeping his tone light. "Kitchen messed up, gave us extra. Thought maybe you two could help us out so it doesn't go to waste." No pressure. Total lie. Nothing in his life had been oops in a long time. "You don't have to," Maya started. "I know," he said. "You'd be doing us a favor. My kid will keep eating until he explodes if I let him. I can't afford the medical bills." Zoe sat up straighter, eyes wide. Maya glanced at her, then back at him. Her next breath came out rough. "Thank you," she whispered. The words sounded expensive. "Really?" "Thank you, mister," Zoe added, small but clear. Something in Ethan's chest unclenched. Back at their booth, Oliver was practically vibrating. "Ask them to sit with us," he hissed. Dad, please." "Maybe they want quiet," Ethan said. "We don't know how their day." "She looks tired," Oliver said. Zoe keeps staring at everyone's plates. "We're not gonna be weird. Just ask." "Buddy, you are weird," Ethan said. "That's genetic." "Then we'll be weird nicely." When Ethan looked up, Maya was still hovering at their table. She'd grabbed a frayed backpack. Zoe clutched the edge of her jacket. "We don't want to intrude," Maya said. "It's more fun with more people," Oliver said. "And my dad talks less when someone else is there. Huge win for me." A laugh slipped out of her, quick and surprised. "Is that so?" Ethan shrugged. "You'd be doing us a second favor, apparently." She studied him a second longer, like she was searching for the hook. Cautiously, she slid in at the end of the booth. Zoe hopped in beside Oliver, already eyeing the pancakes. "Kids first," Ethan said, nudging the plate between them. "I can't eat all of this," Zoe whispered. "Good thing I'm a professional," Oliver said. They dug in. Their laughter started small, then grew, bright stitches in the diner noise. Some of the tension eased from Maya's shoulders. Not all. Her gaze still flicked to the door every few minutes, like she needed to know how quickly she could run. "So, I'm Ethan," he said when things settled. "Maya," she said. She nodded at Zoe. "This is the bottomless pit." "I'm 6 3/4, Zoe corrected. "Dangerous age," Ethan said. "Very high syrup-to-body mass ratio." "You didn't have to do this," Maya said, thumb smoothing the edge of the napkin. "I don't like taking things I can't pay back." "You're keeping my kid from asking me to do a TikTok dance in public," Ethan said. "You have no idea what you've saved us all from." Zoe lifted her fork. "We're doing a great job," she said. This time, Maya's smile touched her eyes. "Apparently." They kept to safe topics, the weather, the way Ridgeview pretended to be bigger than it was. But under every sentence something hummed. Maya didn't mention work. Ethan didn't mention Hale Innovations. "What do you do?" she asked eventually, looking up and away in the same motion. "Tech consulting," he said. "Technically true. Just like calling a hurricane windy." "So you're smart," Zoe said. "Questionable," he said. "But I'm very good at pretending to listen in meetings." "Stable though," Maya said. The word sounded like it hurt to say. "Stable is nice." He heard the weight in it and bit back questions she hadn't invited. When thunder rolled and rain hammered the windows, he offered them a ride. "It's getting bad. We're heading out anyway. We can drop you wherever." "We walk," Maya said immediately. "Too fast." "I don't mind," he tried. "It's on the way to." "I appreciate it," she cut in, jaw set. "But no. We're fine." There it was, the flinch that wasn't about him specifically, but about whoever had taught her help came with strings. "Okay," he said. "At least let us walk you to the corner. I've got an umbrella. One good life choice." Under the umbrella, they had to stand close. Zoe's hand wrapped around Maya's. Oliver kept trying to swing the umbrella like a sword until Ethan tapped his wrist. At the corner, Maya hesitated. "Thank you," she said. "Tonight was weird. And good. Mostly good." "You're welcome," Ethan said. He wanted to ask if he could see them again. That felt like too much. She led Zoe into the rain. Oliver watched until they vanished into the curtain of water. "Dad, do you think they'll be okay?" he asked. Ethan stared at the empty sidewalk. "I want them to be," he said. It was the most honest answer he had. They didn't go back to the diner for a week. Work swallowed him, board calls, charts, a never-ending debate over an automation project that would optimize facilities contracts across 3 regions. Which was a clean way of saying cut hours from people who cleaned the floors. "You can't keep paying for humans to do what software does better," his COO said on video. "This is basic." Ethan stared at the document, at the sanitized list of accounts. He didn't see names, just codes and dollar signs. "Sign it," the COO prompted. "You can't save everyone." He signed. The pen felt heavier than it should. He told himself he'd deal with the guilt later. Later came in the form of fluorescent lights and canned soup. "Dad, look," Oliver whispered. "It's them." Maya stood in front of a wall of soup cans, a can in each hand, brow furrowed in a quiet war. Her basket held rice, off-brand cereal, store pasta. Zoe sat sideways in the cart, gently thumping her heels against a stack of rice bags. "Should we say hi?" Oliver asked. "You're already halfway there," Ethan said. "And maybe don't tackle her." Oliver nodded and immediately nearly made Maya drop a can. Hi. Zoe lit up. Ollie. Maya's hand flew to her chest. You scared me. Thought you were another price increase. Sorry, Oliver said, not sorry at all. Ethan caught up. We're working on his stealth. It's not going well. I got stuck trying to decide between barely edible and slightly depressing, Maya said, lifting the cans. Chicken versus tomato. Tomato, Oliver said. You can put cheese in it. Cheese improves everything. Cheese soup is fancy, Zoe added. Maya raised an eyebrow. I see you've brought food critics. Unpaid, Ethan said. We're in talks. She almost smiled. Can cheese fix rent? She asked. Because I have a block at home that's severely underperforming. He laughed. If it did, I'd be living in aisle 5. Every other week when the paycheck hits, I end up here, she said, then winced. That sounded less sad in my head. It sounded honest, he said. I'm trying this new thing where honesty doesn't scare everyone off, she said. Mixed reviews. It doesn't scare me, he said. You say that now. Zoe leaned toward Oliver. Mom works everywhere, she informed him. Maya groaned. Please don't make my employment situation a fun fact. Everywhere? Oliver asked, impressed. She cleans where the lawyer people are, Zoe said. And the place with bagels. And the motel with the weird carpet that smells like shoes. Ethan's jaw flexed. That's a lot. Maya shrugged one shoulder. It's fine. Sleep is a scam. Her fingers were white-knuckled around the cans. You ever get a day off? He asked. Sometimes Sunday mornings, she said. If the universe feels generous. Come to Maple Park, Oliver said immediately. We go Sundays. There's a big slide. And a crooked tree you can climb if you don't tell my dad until later. I am right here, Ethan said. Maya shook her head. I don't know. Between jobs and laundry and pretending I'm not behind on something, parks feel like a luxury. Zoe grabbed her sleeve. You said maybe, she reminded her. When you weren't so tired. I remember what I said, Maya murmured. He watched the battle play out on her face. Pride versus exhaustion versus a kid who wanted one normal thing. It's an option, he said. No pressure. We're usually there late morning. Unless my boss changes the schedule. Your boss? She asked. He's 8, Ethan said. There've been complaints. Oliver folded his arms. It's tradition. Maya looked between all three of them, then let out a breath. Maybe, she said. If I'm not dead on my feet. No promises. Maybe is my favorite word, Ethan said. It's mine too, she said. And my least favorite. He didn't mean to end up at Pinecrest Lodge. That's what he told himself when he pulled into the cracked parking lot a few nights later, headlights off, stomach knotted. He'd fled a spreadsheet full of red arrows and a bored email about deepening our commitment to automation. He'd just started driving. Then the motel's buzzing neon sign, Pinecrest Lodge, rose out of the dark like a bad idea. From the car, he could see the second-floor walkway. A door stood open. A cleaning cart sat outside, stacked with towels and tiny soaps. Maya stepped out, dragging a bulging trash bag, rubber gloves snapped around her wrists. Her movements were slow in that way that meant she'd run out of adrenaline hours ago. A door next to her opened. A heavy-set man staggered out, shirt half-buttoned, eyes glassy. Hey, sweetheart, he slurred. You missed a spot. Maya stiffened. If there's a problem with the room, you can talk to the front desk. You can fix it, he said, moving closer. Come on. Don't be shy. Ethan's hand tightened on the steering wheel. He told himself to stay put. Not his business. Not his place. The man grabbed her wrist. Ethan was out of the car before the thought finished. Hey. His voice ricocheted off the concrete. The man squinted down. Who the hell are you? Someone who knows how to call the police, Ethan said. And your manager. And whoever issued the credit card you're using. He was bluffing. His tone wasn't. The man swore, dropped Maya's wrist, and lurched back into the room, slamming the door. Silence dropped like a curtain. Maya stared at Ethan like he'd just made everything worse in a brand new way. "What are you doing here?" "Driving," he said. The words sounded ridiculous. "I couldn't sleep. I recognized the sign. And then I saw you." "So you pulled into a motel parking lot to, what? Supervise the garbage?" she asked. "I saw him grab you," he said. "I wasn't going to sit there and see how that ended." She exhaled, shoulders sagging as the adrenaline drained. "It's not always like that," she muttered. "Mostly it's towels and mystery stains and people pretending I don't exist." "Mostly shouldn't have to include that," he said. She ripped off the gloves and threw them into the trash bag. "I can handle it." "I know you can," he said. "That doesn't mean you should have to." "What are you going to do?" she snapped. "Buy the motel?" He actually had, for half a second, thought about it earlier. That was the worst part. "I'm trying not to be that guy," he said. "There it is," she said. "I knew there was a that guy in there somewhere." He flinched. "That's not." "You're used to pulling levers and things happening," she said. "Where I live, you pull levers and they come off in your hand." He opened his mouth, ready to explain that he hadn't always been rich, that there had been years of panic and risk and sleeping 4 hours a night. He shut it again. Whatever he'd survived didn't look like this hallway. "You make everything complicated," she said. "Because I don't like watching you get grabbed in a corridor?" "Because you keep showing up," she said. "Diner. Grocery store. Here. With extra plates and umbrellas and job ideas. People like me don't get free help. We get favors that come with interest." "There is no interest," he said. "There's just you. And Zoe. And me. And Oliver. And something that feels dangerous," she finished. "Yeah," he said. "That." He hesitated. "When do you finish?" Suspicion flashed. "Why?" "Because I'm not leaving you here to walk home alone," he said. "I can follow your bus in my car. Or drive you. You can tell me no. I'm still staying until you're done." "You are not babysitting me." "I am," he said. "And I'm annoyingly stubborn. Ask anyone." "You don't know anyone I know," she said. "Then you'll have to take my word for it." She stared at him, then snorted. "1 more hour," she said. "Then I'm done." "I'll be here," he said. "You really don't have to." "I know," he said. "That's why I'm doing it." Later in the car, she slumped into the passenger seat, smelling of bleach and cheap air freshener. "This is where you tell me I look like hell," she said. "You look exhausted," he said. "Same thing." "No," he said. "Hell doesn't show up for a kids' park day." She glanced at him. "You practicing that line?" "No," he said. "I'm better when I wing it. Unfortunately." She snorted. "So you keep saying." They drove in silence for a while. Strip malls slid by. The glow of his own company's billboard flashed across the windshield, a product launch he'd already stopped caring about. "You said you consult," she said. "Yeah. That mean you know people?" she asked. "People who might pay someone to clean during daylight hours without that." She jerked her head back toward the motel. "Some," he said. "What are you thinking?" "I'm thinking my kid shouldn't have to wake up and check if I made it home," she said. "I'm thinking if some guy grabs me again, there should at least be a security camera." He nodded. "There's a community center. They've been trying to hire. They owe me a favor." "There it is," she said. "The lever." "I mean they'll take the interview seriously," he said. "You'd still have to actually show up. On time. Without the murder face." "My face is fine," she said, offended. "Terrifying," he said. "Very effective." She smiled despite herself. "Don't promise," she said. "Just mention me. If something happens, it happens." "I don't make promises I don't mean," he said. "That sounds like a lie people practice in the mirror," she said. "It's repetition," he said. "Not rehearsal." At her building, he walked her to the door. Zoe stood in the hallway in mismatched pajamas, hair a mess. "You're late," she said, hands on hips. "I know, baby," Maya said, her voice softening. "I'm here now." Zoe wrapped her arms around her waist, then peeked around at Ethan. "Did you steal her?" Borrowed, Ethan said. On a strict return policy. You can't keep her, Zoe mumbled into her mother's shirt. She's ours. Ethan's chest tightened. Good, he said. You're doing a better job watching her than I would. Maya shot him a look over Zoe's head, half warning, half thanks. Good night, Ethan. I'll text you about that job, he said. You better, she replied. He walked back to his car feeling like he'd crossed a line and had no idea where it was drawn. The job worked out. Faster than she believed it would. Slower than he thought it should. They hired me, she said the next weekend at Maple Park, holding a cheap coffee and looking personally offended by the fact. Told me they liked my initiative. Pretty sure they just liked that I know which end of a mop is which. Did you tell them they're lucky? He asked. Absolutely not, she said. I'm not trying to spook anyone. He didn't tell her that he'd called the director personally, or that he'd argued with his CFO to keep the community center donation intact, or that he'd reread the automation report 3 times before signing it and still hated himself after. He went home that night to another round of emails. We can't walk back automation, his COO said the next week, when Ethan suggested revisiting the smallest contracts. We already cut that spending. You approved it. I know, Ethan said. Then what's changed? The COO asked. I met the people on the other side of the numbers, he said. Turns out they're not line items. His COO gave him a weary look. You can't save everyone, Ethan. I know, he said again. He didn't unsign the big project. He did quietly reverse the cuts in Ridgeview and the surrounding towns. It wouldn't fix everything. It was something. It didn't make him feel noble. Just slightly less like a coward. Their rhythm settled, community center shifts, school runs, Sunday parks. Oliver grew quieter on the rides home when Maya and Zoe weren't with them. You like them, Ethan said once. Duh, Oliver replied. What do you like about them? Ethan pressed. Zoe's funny, Oliver said. And she doesn't treat me like a baby. And Maya, he trailed off. And Maya. Ethan nudged. She looks at you like you're just a dad, Oliver said. Not whatever Mr. Jenkins says you are. What does Mr. Jenkins say I am? Ethan asked carefully. A tech guy who ruined his favorite coffee shop, Oliver said. He showed the class your face on Google the other day. Said you were important. Great, Ethan muttered. Love that. I don't like it, Oliver said. When people talk about you like they know you and they don't. Maya doesn't do that. I don't want you to mess that up. The words landed harder than any bored complaint. Mom used to say you do that thing, Oliver added. What thing? Ethan muttered. The thing where you try to fix everything and make it worse, Oliver said. Then you get mad at yourself and act like you don't care. Ethan had no comeback for that. You ever going to invite us over? Maya asked one afternoon, watching the kids build a fort out of sticks and a stolen picnic blanket. I might, Ethan said. It's mostly Lego and laundry. You've seen my place, she said. We're competing. I'd still like to lose that one, he said. The honesty startled him. She studied him. You say stuff like that like you mean it, she said. I do mean it, he said. You're weird, she said. Most guys either want to fix my life, my body, or both. You just keep standing next to me while I freak out about soup prices. I'm good at fixing things, he said slowly. I'm bad at sitting with things I can't fix. People, she said. Yeah, he admitted. People. Maybe try it, she said. The sitting. He thought he was. He thought it might already be too late. The beginning of the end came home in Oliver's backpack. Career week, Oliver groaned, dropping a crumpled flyer on the table. They want parents to talk about their jobs. Please don't do it. Why not? Ethan asked. Because if you show up as you, Oliver said, then I have to be the kid whose dad is that guy from the posters. What posters? Ethan asked, dread creeping up his spine. The ones at school, Oliver said. The principal pulled up your picture. Said, we're so excited to have Ethan Hale, founder of Hale Innovations, speak to the kids. Everyone looked at me like I'd been hiding a secret superhero. Ethan's stomach dropped. His assistant confirmed it an hour later, forwarding a school newsletter he'd ignored. PR loves it, she wrote. Bored too. Great local story. He closed the laptop. He didn't say yes. He didn't say no. In his world, silence was a shape people filled with their own plans. He meant to tell Maya. He didn't. The day Maya found out who he was started with a bus breakdown and a familiar name on a piece of paper. The temp contract from the community center said, Vendor, Hale Innovations, Facilities Deep Clean. The name had been noise for years. People in Ridgeview loved complaining about the big glass building on the hill. Hale this. Hale that. They bought the factory. They raised rents. Sometimes she listened. Mostly she was too busy counting tips and hours. She stared at the page, at the logo at the top. The same stylized H she'd seen on bus ads and billboards. Ethan, she whispered under her breath. You idiot. You absolute idiot. It could be a coincidence. Hale was a name. Ethan was another. Plenty of tech guys with money and opinions. Her chest said otherwise. She almost called in sick. Then she looked at Zoe's worn sneakers by the door and picked up her bag instead. The receptionist barely glanced up. 19th floor. Conference level. Elevators to the right. The mirrored walls of the elevator showed her cheap polo, scuffed shoes, hair pulled back quickly. She smoothed the fabric over the embroidered Ridgeview Community Center and swallowed hard. You okay? A coworker asked. Fine, she lied. The doors opened onto glass and light. People walked past in sleek clothes, badges swinging, coffee cups in one hand, confidence in the other. Conference room first, the supervisor said. Quick sweep before their big meeting. Maya focused on what she could control. Trash cans. Fingerprints on glass. Streaks on chrome. We push the launch, we lose investor confidence, a male voice said from the hall outside. If we cut staff again, we lose the floor, another replied. I'm not firing more people so a graph looks prettier, Lena. The second voice hooked into her spine. She straightened and looked up. Through the glass wall, she saw him. Ethan walked down the hallway in a dark shirt, sleeves rolled to his forearms, no jacket. He moved like the air made space for him. People in suits clustered around him. Ethan, the woman with the tablet said. PR confirmed the school thing. Billionaire comes back to class. It's cute. Try not to look too miserable. I'm miserable by default, he said. They'll love it. They laughed. Maya's hand tightened on the spray bottle until the plastic creaked. Heads down, her supervisor murmured. We're ghosts. She couldn't make herself disappear. Ethan turned toward the conference room. His gaze swept the glass, pausing mid-step. Their eyes met. He stopped. Maya, he breathed. She stepped back. Do you two know each other? The supervisor asked. Ethan opened his mouth. An executive cut in. Mr. Hale, we really need your approval on the revised equity forecast. Mr. Hale. Not Ethan. Something in her chest cracked. She dropped the rag. It hit the polished floor with a soft, obscene sound. She shoved the cart aside and walked. Fast. Head down. Maya, wait, Ethan called. Please. He didn't follow. She jabbed the elevator button, breathing so hard she thought she might be sick. Her reflection wavered in the mirrored doors, uniform badge, tired eyes. Well, she said under her breath. There it is. When the doors slid open, she stepped inside and didn't look back. He didn't remember the meeting. Charts. Slides. People saying synergy, like it meant anything. He said the words they expected, made decisions he didn't hear, watched a graph move on a screen while his mind looped only her face. You lied. He knew the text would be waiting before he even pulled his phone from his pocket. You lied. It sat there, 2 words, no punctuation. I can explain, he typed. Please. Tell me where you are. Delivered. Not read. He left the building while people were still trying to ask him questions. His assistant called after him something about the school event. He kept walking. The hallway outside her apartment looked the same. Peeling paint. The smell of someone else's dinner. He felt like a trespasser now. She opened the door a few inches. Her eyes were red. Zoe clung to her leg, small backpack on already. We're leaving in a minute, Maya said. You've got 30 seconds. Maya, he said. Please. Let me explain. Explain what? She said. That your last name is on half the things in this town? That your company cut one of my cleaning contracts last year and I had to pick up the motel to make up the hours? That you watched me count coins in a diner and thought consulting was enough information? I didn't know it was your contract, he said. I see regions and codes and… Exactly, she snapped. You see charts. I see rent notices. He flinched. You signed something that took money out of my pocket, she said. Then you gave me a different paycheck and forgot to mention you were just moving pieces around on a board you own. I was trying to make it less brutal, he said. I wasn't trying to play God with your life. But you did, she said. Without telling me. I was going to, he said. When? She demanded. Before or after the school paraded you around as Ridgeview's friendly billionaire? He swallowed. I was putting it off. You liked how I looked at you, she said. He didn't deny it. I paid one of your utility bills, he blurted, because if he was confessing, he might as well make it hurt. When I saw the shut-off notice on the counter, I thought. Her face went very still. That was you. I told myself I was buying time, he said. So Zoe wouldn't wake up in the dark. It felt like the least I could do. I thought I'd miscounted, she said. Spent 3 days wondering if I'd finally lost it. Do you know what that feels like? To think you're so tired you can't trust your own math. He wished she'd yelled. The quiet in her voice was worse. Let me fix this, he said. I can change contracts. Pull the automation out of Ridgeview completely. I can. You can't fix this, she said. You can fix jobs. Money. Schedules. You cannot fix that you let me stand in your building in a uniform and find out who you are from someone else's mouth. Zoe tugged her sleeve. Mom, we're gonna be late. In a sec, baby, Maya said, not looking away from him. Are you leaving? Ethan asked. Leaving? I'm taking her to school, she said. After that. I don't know yet. He swallowed. I never lied about how I feel about you. Or Zoe. Or our stupid park traditions. I got scared. So I started editing the truth and told myself that was different. It's not, she said. Edited is just prettier. He had nothing to say to that. Move, she said softly. He stepped aside. They walked past him. Zoe glanced back once, confused. He couldn't meet her eyes. The door closed behind them with a soft click. Somehow, that hurt more than a slam. The next few days were noise. People talked at him. He nodded. He signed things. He unsent the email about Career Week, told his assistant, cancel it. Tell them I'm not doing PR at a school while I'm still trying to figure out why my decisions keep punching the same people. That's not the line PR is going to want, she said carefully. Then tell PR to send me a better one or stop emailing me, he replied. At night, he walked through his too quiet house, from room to room, running into memories. The park. The motel. Soup aisles and umbrellas and cackling kids. Oliver watched him over breakfast. Did you do the thing? Oliver asked finally. What thing? Ethan muttered. The thing where you try to fix everything and make it worse, Oliver said. Ethan set his mug down. Yeah, he said. I think I did. Are you gonna fix the fix? Oliver asked. I'm trying, Ethan said. Maybe don't do it alone this time, Oliver said. You're bad at that part. On the third day, he drove back to Maya's building. The door was open this time, propped with Zoe's pink backpack. Maya knelt on the floor, tying laces. She looked up. Her shoulders tensed. Ethan, what are you doing here? He stayed in the hall. No assumptions. No stepping inside without being asked. I don't want to argue, he said. You're allowed to yell. I probably deserve it. I just need you to hear something from my actual mouth. She didn't tell him to leave. That felt like a miracle. You weren't a project, he said. You weren't some experiment I was running because I was bored. You were the first person in a long time who didn't look at me and immediately see headlines or dollar signs. You saw some idiot with an umbrella and a kid who can't stop talking. And I liked that so much I got selfish with it. Selfish how? She asked. I liked being just Ethan, he said. So much that I let you walk into my world without telling you where you were. Zoe tugged her sleeve. We're gonna be late, Mom. Maya wiped at her eyes quickly. I have to take her, she said. I know, Ethan said. I don't know what I'm going to do about you, she said. Not yet. I'm not asking you to decide today, he said. If you ever want the whole story, I'll give you the ugly version first. No spin. No board-friendly edits. She studied his face for a long moment, like she was checking it against the one she'd seen through the glass. You hurt me, she said. I know, he said. I can't pretend I didn't. I can only not do it again. She nodded once. I'll text you, she said. He stepped back. I'll be here. She closed the door. It sounded like a comma, not a period. He grabbed onto that and held. Weeks passed. He didn't see her at the community center. Someone else wiped down the counters. A new name on the schedule board. He didn't want to ask. Once, he spotted Zoe at the park with a babysitter. He stayed on the far side of the field, watching Oliver pretend not to search the playground for her after she left. At work, he pulled up the automation file again. We already ran this, the COO said on video. Why are we revisiting Ridgeview? Because we screwed it up, Ethan said. Because we can afford less profit more than they can afford missing rent. You're making decisions based on feelings, the COO said. Good, Ethan replied. We haven't tried that yet. He reversed every facilities cut within an hour's drive of Ridgeview. It didn't fix what he'd done. It did draw a line. For the first time in weeks, he slept more than 4 hours. Spring finally dragged itself into Ridgeview. The trees in Maple Park tried on a shy green. Kids yelled. Dogs chased balls that weren't theirs. Ethan stood near their usual tree, hands in his pockets, watching Oliver kick a soccer ball against nowhere. He saw her before he registered that he'd been searching. Maya walked up the path slowly, denim jacket, curls in a soft puff, eyes wary and steady at the same time. Zoe sprinted ahead to tackle Oliver in a hug. He forced himself not to move. If she wanted to walk past him, he would let her. She stopped in front of him. You said if I wanted the whole story, you'd tell me, she said. I did, he said. Okay, she said. I want it. The version that makes you look bad. Not the polished one you give your board. He swallowed. Here. You scared of open spaces? She asked. Dogs make me nervous, he said. They're always judging my shoes. That's not an answer, she said. He took a breath and told her. He told her about building Hale Innovations, about the first contract that put him on magazine covers he'd never asked for, about the nights he didn't sleep worrying about burn rates and payrolls that were now footnotes. He told her about the automation project. About signing documents that optimized facilities and cut cleaning jobs from spreadsheets he never saw as faces. That's the part that makes you look bad, she said quietly. I know, he said. He told her about calling the community center, about slipping her name into a conversation that should have happened without him, about the utility bill he paid behind her back. Do not ever do that again, she said when he finished. To me or anyone else. I won't, he said. I thought I was helping. I get now that I was deciding for you. That's the part that scares me, she said. That you're used to having that much power and calling it help. He didn't argue. And your ex? She asked. He blinked. What about her? Oliver said she thinks you try to fix everything till you break it, Maya said. Is that true? Yeah, he said. She wasn't wrong. Do you know how not to do that? Maya asked. I'm learning, he said. Badly. In public. She stared at the grass for a long time. When I walked into your building and saw you in that hallway, she said, it felt like the universe was laughing at me. Like, of course the first man I let myself trust in years is the same type who signs away my hours and calls it optimization. He swallowed. I still feel that punch when I think about it, she said. But I also remember the motel. And the soup aisle. And you sitting on that crappy bench over there for 3 hours because Zoe wanted 5 more minutes on the swings and we both know she meant 45. You timed it, he asked. Single moms time everything, she said. It's how we survive. The corner of his mouth twitched. I'm still angry, she said. I'm still scared. I don't know if I can build a life with someone whose bad day can erase entire paychecks. Then don't, he said. Not today. If we do anything, it has to be smaller than that. How small? She asked. One day, he said. You get to set rules. I follow them or we're done. She considered him like she was reading fine print. No more secret help, she said. No anonymous bills. No jobs I don't know you pulled strings for. If you want to use your levers, you ask me first, and I get to say no. Done, he said. You don't get to hide when your world makes mine worse, she added. If your company does something that screws people like me, I want to hear it from you first. Not on a hallway. Not on a flyer. You look me in the eye and tell me exactly what you signed. Okay, he said. That one would hurt. That was the point. And if I find out you've lied again about anything big, who you are, what you do, what you decided, I walk, she said. No second chances. No speeches at my door. He flinched. Fair, he said. She took a breath. What do you need? She asked. He blinked. What? You standing here confessing like a saint is cute, she said. But I'm not interested in being someone's redemption arc. If we do this, you get to want things too. What are they? He hadn't let himself think that far. I need you to tell me when you're drowning, he said slowly. Before it's 3 jobs and a motel hallway. I need to not find out you're in trouble by accident and then overreact because I've been pretending everything's fine. She nodded, jaw tight. And I need you to call me on it when I start treating you like a problem to solve instead of a person, he added. Out loud. In the moment. That I can do, she said. I have many opinions. I've noticed, he said. Behind them, Zoe shrieked with laughter as Oliver pushed her on the swing. Higher. Higher. One more rule, Maya said. Whatever happens with us, they don't get punished for it. If this crashes and burns, they still get the park. They still get each other. Deal, he said without hesitation. Silence settled. Not empty. Just full of things they hadn't said yet. Do you still want to try? She asked finally, knowing all of this? Knowing I'm not going to let you stay the hero in your own head. Yes, he said. Knowing all of this is the only reason it's worth trying. I'm not promising a happy ending, she said. I'm not promising any ending. I'm just saying. I don't want to run away from something real just because it scares me. One day at a time, he said. One day, she echoed. They walked toward the swings together. At one point, their hands brushed. Not a grand, cinematic moment. Just skin against skin. Warm. Brief. Real. Oliver scooted aside so Ethan could take a turn pushing. Zoe demanded rocket speed. Maya rolled her eyes and pretended not to watch Ethan's hand steady the chains. They stood there, side by side, pushing 2 kids who trusted gravity less than they trusted the hands behind them. Ethan looked at Maya. Maya looked at Ethan. For once, he didn't try to fix the question hanging between them. She didn't try to answer it before it was ready. If you stop trying to rescue someone and just stand next to them in the mess, is that enough to build something that lasts? They didn't say it out loud. They didn't solve it. They just kept pushing the swings, watching their kids reach for a sky neither of them could guarantee, and for that one day, chose to stay. If you enjoyed this story and want more inspiring lessons like this, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss one.